All right, welcome back. Let's move on to something else. So far, we've been hard coding the assignments directly within our component, but of course, that's not overly realistic. In real life, it's coming from a database or an API of some sort. So why don't we try to test that out using a fake API? I'll show you how. I will open my editor. And yeah, of course, right now, we don't have a backend. We just have a bunch of JavaScript files. So of course, I could pull in Laravel to provide our API, but I'm also right now sensitive to the fact that many people watching this possibly don't use PHP or Laravel. So even though we might reach for it in the future, right now in the series, I want these examples to be as broadly accessible as possible. So with that in mind, I'm going to set up a fake API, and I'll show you a cool way to do that. I'm going to use npm to install a tool called JSON Server, and I'll save that to my dev dependencies list. Now, if you run npm and it doesn't work, visit nodejs.org and install it, and then try to run this again. Okay, so now if I try to run this, and I can do that by saying npx JSON server, it brings up the help, but also we see a little note here. Hey, we're missing the source argument. So we need to create a database that it can work off of. Okay, let's do that now. So remember, we're not creating a real database. This is just a fake API for testing, and it's perfect for examples. I will call it db.json. And yeah, check out how cool this is. If I want an endpoint to fetch assignments, let's call it assignments, and that should return an array of assignments. So if we switch over, here's what we had before. Why don't we copy one of those, switch over to our database, and then paste it in. But of course, right now it's going to fail because it's not formatted properly. So let's make sure we wrap everything with double quotes, like this. And then I will reformat. All right, and that's the basic shape. If I want to add more, I can duplicate this as many times as I need to. Now, when I make a request to the assignments endpoint, it will return to me all of these objects. Okay, cool. So to save time, I'm not going to make you watch all of this. Let me paste in one that I wrote earlier. And notice the names here perfectly correspond to the ones that we hard-coded within assignments.js. So ideally, I should be able to remove all of these and instead fetch them from our new fake API. Okay, let's run it again. npx JSON server, and then the file name is db.json. Very cool. I have an assignments resource ready to go. But there is one little issue. Notice it's trying to run on port 3000, but our main server is also running on port 3000. Why don't we exit out, do it one more time, and I will set the port to 3001. Okay, that way they won't interfere. So check this out. If I open this in the browser, our server is up and running, and here's our assignments endpoint that will return this data. Yeah, how cool is that? It's perfect, exactly what we need for testing purposes. Okay, now let's make a request to this endpoint, and I'll show you how to do that. If we visit assignments.js, where would be a good place to make an AJAX request? Okay, well, this is where Lifecycle hooks come into play. So why don't we take a look at this diagram that Vue.js provides? Yeah, here we go. So this is the lifecycle for a component. And granted, it looks a little confusing. Nobody expects you to memorize every piece of this flow. Just understand the basic idea. As a component is rendered, mounted, and then unmounted, it will work its way through a series of lifecycle hooks. And here's some common ones. Before create, mounted, unmounted. So for example, if we want to execute a bit of code right when the component has been created, but it hasn't yet been compiled, then the created hook is what we want. And as it turns out, the names of these hooks are also the method names we use. So for example, created, alert, created, and let's give it a shot. Refresh, and it works. Okay, so the most common ones you'll use are created, mounted, and this means the component has been created, compiled, and rendered to the DOM. So that's a very common one. And then another common one is after the component has been unmounted from the page. And you'll often reach for unmounted when building single-page applications where maybe you need to remove event listeners so that you can free up memory. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. For now, the 80% rule, just learn about created, mounted, and unmounted, and that'll take you a really long way. Okay, so if we want to perform an AJAX request to create all of our assignments, what hook might we use? Well, we could use mounted, but that's after the component has been created and compiled. So it would work, but maybe it would be better to do it one hook before that. So we'll stick with created. Okay, now we can use any kind of JavaScript library you want to perform the AJAX request. It's very common to use a tool called Axios, but we could also use a native browser tool called Fetch. So let's figure out what the endpoint was. I will copy that, paste it in. Now, the Fetch API returns what's known as a promise. And if you're not familiar with promises, here's a really easy way to think of it. When you're working synchronously, you know that you make a request, you instantly receive a response, and then you work with it, right? But that's not true when you're working asynchronously, of course. You will eventually get a response. It's sort of like when somebody owes you money and they're not giving it to you, and they say, "You'll get your money when I have it," but they never actually give it to you right then. That's how I think of it. So a promise is literally a promise to give you a response, but it doesn't have anything for you right now. Just a promise that one day or 1 second, you'll get it. Okay, so the Fetch API returns a promise to give me this data. So why don't we say, all right, well, when you have some data for me, I'll call it response, I actually want the JSON for that response. But then the Fetch API is like, okay, I'll give you that JSON, but not right away. I promise to give it to you though. So that will return another promise. So let's do a second then and say, okay, when you have my data, let's console.log it and have a look. Okay, so I visit the browser. I will open up the console and give this a refresh. And if we have a look at the info tab, sure enough, we have our list of assignments. And just to be crystal clear, those assignments are coming from this database we created. Okay, so the next step is to accept those assignments. And in fact, we can call it whatever we want. Let's call it assignments. Let's now assign it right here. So I can say, after that AJAX request is complete and we have the assignments, let's save them to that data property. And when we do, we update this, it changes, so Vue re-renders the DOM. And yeah, you can tweak this as you need to. So for example, maybe you'll add another one here. Maybe we have an assignment for finish Laracast video, and we're about to be done, so we'll set it to true, and that will have a tag of programming. Okay, now keep in mind, if I update this and I give it a refresh, it's not reflected here. Whenever you make a change to your database, make sure you Control-C out of your server and boot it up again. Okay, now if we try it again, it should be reflected. And because we marked that assignment as complete, when we load the page, it automatically renders that second assignment list. So I hope you're excited. This is all such cool stuff. Trust me, when I got started learning, none of these things existed. It was all very difficult. So you were very fortunate, and I hope you're excited for the next lesson.